Not too bad. Just trying to get this tank going. There's just stuff all over this chat. Like, I really have got to pack some alcohol. This is ridiculous to have to clean a brand new tank like this. Again, something I'm not familiar dealing with when I deal with exoterra tanks. I don't know what they do, but they're not filtered like this. This tank just seems like it's covered in silicone or something. Covered in glue. Shame. Feel bad for customers that are buying these tanks that they have to go through so much cleaning effort. Like, and it's not just anything that you can just wipe away. It's definitely something that's going to require a bit of a cleaner, more of an alcohol. Unfortunate. That's okay. We'll move forward. We'll press forward. So for our bioactive setup here, for our Zoom Ed 12 by 12 by 18 bioactive setup, we go with a layered system. The first layer is going to be the drainage layer. For that, we use Leca clay balls. Unfortunately, I'm down to my last 2 bags of these. We do Leca clay balls. This is my own bag product. I don't make them, obviously. I just rebag some other stuff. And usually I tell people to go ahead and rinse them off before they put them in their setup, maybe and let them soak for an hour or 2. Just let them hydrate a little bit. But we're kind of limited here at the show. Again, we'll go ahead and spray them a little bit. We'll help kind of get them moistened up. Yeah. All right. And then on top of that, you have screen mesh. This helps keep your substrate from falling down into your drainage layer. Helps keep your layers a little more separate. And I'm just literally using screen mesh. I sell this already pre-cut to many different sizes for popular common setups. Gotta get better about not having my big arm in this camera, huh? I don't know how to do that, chat. You want your screen mesh to kind of be a little bit bigger than your tank. You just want it to kind of roll up the edge just a smidge, you know? Nothing too crazy. That'll help keep things separated. All right, then on top of that, we do charcoal. Charcoal's great for filtering your water. I'm talking to the camera. Charcoal's great for filtering your water. Helps filter the air in the setup. Filters your water as it goes up and down the water cycle you're creating with a drainage layer. It has great beneficial nutrients for plant growth. If you're a gardener, put charcoal in your garden. I think the common thing people are talking about now is biochar. That's the whole garden thing people are doing, but it's just charcoal, chat. Don't let them fool you. I mean, you got to think about it too. You know, when We do so much to fight fires in forests and stuff, but fires bring new growth. We need to have some sort of wood burning in our forest for them to thrive to some degree, you know, part of the natural process of things. Burnt wood is such a great nutrient for all other plants around it, all of the organisms. So many thrive off of it. This lady here is going to get our last bag of clay balls. That's unfortunate. Sounds great. Yeah. Charcoal. Sounds great. Doing a cash or card? Oh, leaves. All right, let me just. Sorry about that, chat. You have to bear with me. I'll have to stop through it like that periodically as customers need me to assist them. I am here by myself this weekend, so I don't have any backup or anything. So after our drainage layer, screen mesh, and charcoal, next we're going to do substrate. This is my own, again, my own product. I like to separate it like this in the bag. I've got some orchid bark down here. I've got like my more dirt product in the middle, and then sphagnum moss on top. I'd mix this up, obviously, but I just separate in the bag so it looks fancy that way, I think. Um, Again, a little limited here at the show, but generally, it's easier that way to mix it all up before you put it in. But again, at the shows, we're a little limited on how we can get stuff done. A lot of my products are pretty much uh, built around this kind of setup, this size setup, 12 by 12 bases. Excuse me? Huh? Like live moss or sphagnum moss? Same as this. I got sphagnum moss right over there on the end. All right. The other thing I'm going to put in here too, is before I mix it all in, is I'm going to add some leaf litter. This will help create some more beneficial places for isopods and bacteria to grow, beneficial bacteria. Also create some nutrients pockets for plants and stuff, and help fluff the substrate up a little bit. I'm just gonna crumble it in, and we'll save the rest of that and put it on top. That was a bit that was left over from the bag I used yesterday. I ran out of my duckies, unfortunately. The only things I have left are white duckies. All right, that's mixed in pretty decent, I think. So then what you want to do is you want to slope your substrate towards the back. This will help create really good depth perception when you view your tank. Just makes it look more appropriate with everything sloped towards the back. Creates that depth, you know. You cast your card. Can anybody confirm? Can you, if I'm checking somebody out, can you guys still hear me at all? If I go to the other app to check somebody out, am I still have audio? Anybody confirm? Anybody got a comment? What's up, brother? This man down there clean me out of everything yesterday. He's gonna come and clean me out of everything today. I got no. I just sold my last clay ball. I have no more clay balls. Yeah, yeah. Um, there might be somebody else here that has them. I would check with maybe Sam, the lady with the plants here up against the wall. She might have some. Otherwise, if you go to like Lowe's or whatever, Lava Rock, yeah, you need something. Anything works. I mean, you can put plastic down there, honestly. Something to keep a level area where water can kind of. The clay balls are just great because they're porous, they absorb water well, and then they also are lightweight. Yeah, but it's I don't have a big enough bag for it. I don't know what size setup you're doing, but the pea gravel you can also get a big bag of that at like Lowe's for a few bucks. Yeah. Again, it's heavy. It looks better though. When I'm doing a nice tank and I don't want it to be heavy, I'll do the clay balls like the front back half, and then I'll do in the front half. I'll do the pea gravel because it looks better. All right. While he's shopping, we'll kind of continue on this a little bit. Add some more leaf litter on top. Trying to represent the forest floor, you know. All right. So after leaf litter, do our hardscape. I got a few different options for that. Not sure what I'm using or how I'm using it because this one is kind of big. Definitely gonna have to break it down a little. Definitely way too big. Actually, chat, I think that looks better that way, huh? Your little pocket here, we could maybe put a plant in there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I also got another one of the vines to do, which is a little tedious. Should going on that as well. I was kind of packing the dirt in around it a little bit and getting checked out. Yeah, the up against the wall here, the plants. She definitely had some, but whether she still has some, I don't know. Tell her I sent you. These guys right here are the masters. This is a calcium bearing clay substrate. It's something you can kind of keep on producing springtails in for a very long term situation. Yep. Yeah, anything in taps. We get one? Awesome. Dude, sorry about that. I know I keep bouncing back and forth trying to check customers out, but that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make sales this weekend. How y'all doing? Doing well. All right. Let's see. I feel like that guy's gonna kind of go over there, huh? Again, I'm just kind of packing the dirt around the hardscape here, kind of get it set in. As it gets watered and sprayed, the more watering it gets, the substrate will settle in a little more. How's everybody doing this Sunday? You guys get to church, you say your prayers. I don't know, fam. Where do I want to stick that guy at? Like that? Like that? Yep. Yeah, you definitely want as much protein and calcium you can get in your isopods, the better. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to help them produce. Some isopods are more protein driven than others. Something like a dairy cow, they definitely require a lot of protein. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones. I have my own diet that I sell. I don't know what product. There's, like I said, there's a lot of different products on that market. I couldn't tell you just what it, by description what it is, or even what's in it. I don't know other people's products like that. Generally speaking, most of them are probably putting it in there. If they're baking a product that's worth anything, they're at least putting fish flake in it, which has some protein in it. All right, I think that's. Do we make a cross? Do we make an X? We'll just kind of lay this guy down. Like that. I'm not using it all. Then here in the middle. I don't know, chat. I'm not really feeling this piece of wood at all. All set? Helping this lady, she's getting some leaves. She's getting some puka pods. Come on, bags. Yeah, for those who don't know, little puka pods, like little mini pumpkins. Yeah, they are. They're fun. Anything that I can tap. Here for another one. All set. Here for another one. All set. You doing a cash or card? Card. All right. This lady's getting some more leaves, and she's getting also some of my Isopod diet. Isopod diet's just 12 dry ingredients and stuff isopods like to eat that I've blended together. Got a little veggies, a little protein, a little calcium, several different sources. Be right back. I'm gonna go check it out. All right. Still looking for a chat confirmation. Does anybody want to let me know if they can hear me while I'm on my Square app checking somebody out? Is the audio completely cut off when I leave this YouTube app? Anybody got a comment? Still looking for some kind of confirmation on that. Can you hear me if I'm in the Square app checking somebody out, or is the audio cut off? Can anybody hear me at all right now? Like, how about that? How about we start there? Is there any audio? I don't know, chat. I hope somebody can hear me. I'm on my video. I'm on a live. Sorry, guys. I know I look like I'm talking to myself over here. I swear I'm not crazy. I don't know, chat. How do we? Maybe this way, huh? this in here. Okay. Oh, you know what? We'll suspend it. We'll suspend it. It'll look like maybe it broke off of this one, right? Yeah. So we'll suspend it like it broke off of that one, like we did with the other one. I like it. I like the little suspended thing that we're doing. It's kind of fun. Like some Pangea stuff. So for that, we got this little wire, vine. I buy these from Family Reptiles here at the show. They're getting them in some sort of bulk quantity, just like this, out of a package. But I know that there's a Zoom Ed or somebody that makes like different coloring, not maybe this green color, but like some browns and maybe some reddish in it. That's in a bag already all rolled up. It's very similar to this. There's a few different products like this. You guys should be able to find them, no problem. But they're great, very bendable, very pliable. You can wrap them around whatever you need to wrap them around. It's a good aesthetic appeal to the tank. I will say that they're probably, they're not going to last forever. They're going to break down. So again, this is definitely like the tedious process. I've done in other lives prior where I kind of had the wire already done before the video. Is that something you guys would appreciate better instead of having to sit here and watch me do it? Or should I just do it live like I'm doing now? What do y'all think? All right. Still nobody wants to chat, huh? Nobody wants to let me know what they're thinking. I'm still honestly at this point curious if I even have audio at all. Or at least get a confirmation from somebody that you guys can hear me. Just a yes. Yes. Please chat. Comment. Yes. I can hear you. Yes. Or no. I mean, I guess you wouldn't say no because you can't hear me ask this question. I don't really know what I'm planning to do with any of this. I'm just kind of winging it, chat. It's kind of how I do with a lot of my tanks, honestly. I feel like if I go in with plans, they don't work out and I get disappointed, and it's just easier just to go in without a plan. Just wing it. Just let the artistic expression hit you. Again, chat, I'm still desperate for somebody to let me know that you guys can hear me. How y'all doing? Doing well. Nobody has anything to say. Nobody wants to comment. Yes, Josh, I can hear you. Set me out, chat. Come on. It's just a little comment. It's not going to bite. Otherwise, I'm really gonna have to assume you can't hear me, and I might just have to end the live. Nobody can hear me because I don't know what the problem is. Not a problem. All right, these folks are gonna get another bag of leaves, a couple of my seed pods, a lotus pod, and some sweet gum seed pods. Cash or card? Give me 10 bucks. 10. Thank you much. Y'all enjoy the rest of the show. All right, chat. YouTube says there are 12 of you here. There are 12 people watching right now. Will one of you please comment you can hear me? Yes. Just type yes. Oh, no. I guess I just have to keep on going, assuming that people can hear me. Make sure y'all tap that like button. Make sure you guys tap that screen. Appreciate all the likes, all the subs. And we'll just press forward, assuming that you guys are all hearing me, I guess. Trying to figure out where all I want to put the rest of these vines. All of the bulk stuff down here are 60 bucks. And kind of wrap the vine around itself a little bit. You know, vines be doing that sometimes. Cross over some. All right. Vine's coming along pretty good. Hope you all are liking it. Tap that screen. Make sure you guys tap that screen. You guys are liking the video. You guys are liking the live. Make sure you guys give it a like. All right, so it said that I felt like it would be like there. So it'll be falling there. All right. It's like the vines broke it off, you know? The vines just took it over and said, no more wood. You are mine. All right. That's so cool looking jet. Oh yeah, suspended wood. I like it. Patented by Hardy's Exotic Reptile Emporium. How y'all doing? A little bit of both. I mean, I have a bunch of papayas that they just live underneath the bark. They're not like in the substrate, but there are a portion of them that are. It just depends on how big your colony is, how wet your substrate is. Um, if your substrate's not very wet and they're trying to get down to where it is wet, then yeah, they'll definitely burrow a lot. Mhm. What was it you said you were setting up for? What was that being inhabited? Oh, a jewel? Oh, it's a lizard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lizard, yeah. Right. So if you're worried about it being something that you're going to eat and you're just really wanting the cleanup crew portion of it, you don't really care about anything else, dwarf whites are where it's at for you. Those guys are really small. They're primarily in the substrate. He's never going to bother them. You really won't see them all that often, and they're going to kind of do the job from below. If you want something that's a little more visually appealing, again, the little seeds, the papayas, those guys are great options. They're actually native to South Florida. The little seeds you can find here, probably closer to getting to the Keys area, but maybe this far north. And then the papayas are like an albino version of them, so they're both essentially native to here. But anything else in my bottom row is going to be a good option that I still have available. Those are all hard to kill, readily available isopods, very cheap, and they do a very good, efficient job of cleaning the setup. The dwarf purples are also a good option too. They're a little smaller. They don't breed as well as the dwarf whites. The dwarf whites are only known asexual isopods, so they only need one to reproduce. So they reproduce by the thousands very quickly. I usually tell people there's like 20 in there, but it's probably quite a bit more than that. They're way too small to be counting. I just kind of scoop where there's a good amount of them in the bin. Mhm. I'd take advantage of my buy three get one free. So it'd be 4 cups for $30. Mhm. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, master cup be good, and then you can get out whatever you want to get out of it, and keep on letting it seed and grow more for any future tanks or whatever. Yeah, so the master cup's more of a long term culture for you to keep alive to do more tanks because everybody wants to do more tanks. Not one is not just not enough. So yeah, that'll be a way for you to have access to more springtails, especially like if you get into dart frogs. If you're a dart frog enthusiast, springtails are a great option for food for dart frogs. The buy three get one free, and then a master. Yeah, just go through this. I go through all my cups about every 2 weeks or so, depending on my schedule. You don't have to be super on top of them. I always give them a slap of lid before I open them. A lot of times when they're super full, they'll be on the lid a little bit. Give them a little breath of air. That first breath of air, they all pop a lot real quick before I pull the lid off all the way. And then this is a calcium-bearing clay substrate they're on. I'm just spritzing a little bit, trying to keep it moist. Make sure it's the chlorinated water or spring water or something like that, something without chlorine in it. And then I'm putting dry rice in there. The rice turns to mold, and they eat the mold. It feels a little bit still there. Like I said, just go through it about every couple of weeks, and then whenever I want to get some out, I just tilt to the side and tap. Obviously with the lid off, but just tilt to the side and tap, and they just tap out. I have to assume that there's so many people in the chat that you guys can hear me because I can't imagine you guys would just be hanging around if I didn't have any audio. I'm still really looking for a confirmation that somebody can hear me, chat. Can you just put a yes? Somebody comment yes. Yes, sir. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Leo. What's up, homie? Awesome, awesome, bro. All right. Yeah, we're working on a little Pangea here. We got a suspended forest going on. This little suspended piece of wood. I'm liking it. All right. Think we're good, chat. Hardscape's come along. Let's just peaceful stop. Maybe we'll get some rocks down here and try to hold that piece in. The vines and everything kind of keep pulling it forward. So next we got plants. And we're just going to kind of use similar plants we used yesterday. Again, I'm not super familiar with the names. I thought this was a pothos, but I think it's something similar to that. I don't think it's actually a pothos. But these plants are great. All you really got to do is just kind of trim off a section of them, and they'll start rooting on their own. All these little bits here are roots. You just kind of get a little bit of that into some substrate, and make sure you're spraying everything down, and the setup stays nice and hydrated. Those guys will root in real well. I'm going to do 2 of them for this one, huh? And we got other plants that we used for the other tank yesterday too. We're going to go ahead and get incorporated in. So it'll be similar planting. Put the other one on that side last time. Can I get this in the back still, maybe? Yeah, we can do it back there. Yeah. So I'm just kind of grabbing the roots between my fingers here and smooshing them into the substrate a little bit. Make sure to try and cover everything up. And we'll kind of fan them out some. Maybe bring a little forward. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks good. Make sure you guys tap that screen if you guys like that too. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Double tap that screen. All right, a couple more plants there. Post this here. And see where I want to stick everything. I think I want one of these to kind of be a little more floor covering. Felt like the tank yesterday was kind of lacking in some floor covering. on this a little bit. There we go. No, we don't do any competitions here. No. All right, we had this little pocket here. We were thinking about putting a plant in. Maybe we'll put one of these phytosis up in there, maybe. I want to put some rocks down here to kind of try and keep that at bay in the back. But there. So it's kind of wedged in a little bit. All right, yeah, I like that. Usually I do all this with tongs at the house, but I didn't bring any of my tools or kit. I really should have a traveling kit to do all this with all my little fancy tools. All right. I got this phytosis. Oh no, it's in one of these. You know what? I can break that up. Yeah, there's two plants here, so I'll put one in that little pocket there. I'll just take some substrate from the bottom, kind of put it up in there. The show's starting to fill a little bit, honestly. If I'm being honest, chat, I think it might even be a little fuller than it was yesterday. So we definitely gotta get on, move on. We gotta get this done. Cappuccinos are a great option. They're one of my favorites. They are good sized isopod, breed decent, and have great color. See if that stays there, huh, chat? We'll stick this guy here in this corner. All right. How's that looking? What are y'all thinking? They're looking pretty good, chat. Got a little suspended wood. Yeah. All right. So I think I want to get some rocks. We'll use this limestone here. Got some of this heavy limestone that I don't sell a lot of because everybody wants the Caribbean limestone. I get it. It's nicer. Maybe we'll kind of stick some of these guys back in there. That'll help hold this one in place a little. Yeah, get wedged in between these different pieces of wood, the vine and everything. It's gonna make it all really super secure. Oh yeah, I think that's my pretty good, chat. I'm gonna get one more piece in there to kind of help sell the look. It's got one leaf. I'm trying not to kill her. There we go. Yeah, that's all nice and locked in now. Still a little maneuverable, but not nearly as like it was. Not nearly like it was. All right, so next we've got some moss. And this is a tree apron moss I picked up from the vendor here right across from me. I used to go out and harvest my own moss. I just haven't in a while. It kind of used to be something the fam and I would do, like maybe one of my kids or something. But they're all growing up, not really wanting to do a whole lot with dad these days. And the spot that I like to go out and get moss at, if I'm being honest, has a lot of ticks. It's out in the Ocala forest area. And yeah, you definitely got to go out there and be prepared to deal with some ticks on you. It's no fun. It's hot, miserable. Why do that when I can list some Pokemon cards on eBay instead, right? That sounds like a lot easier job, right? All right, moss is all done. And then we still have some black lava rock left over from the tank yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate some of that too. How y'all doing? These, I only got one or two left over there. Those clay ones, yeah. It's a long-term solution to keep on producing more and more springtails in it. What's up? Yeah, you just leave them in the cup. They just keep on producing inside the cup. Just like put it on a shelf and take care of it every couple weeks. Tilt it to the side and tap. So you would just obviously take the lid off, tilt to the side and tap. They all tap out. And then whenever you want to go through it and care for it, you just go through them about every 2 weeks or so. Again, you don't have to be super on top of them. They're very easy to take care of. They're living a lot of what's in the clay. It's a calcium bearing clay substrate. So they're eating a lot of stuff in there on their own. If it doesn't dry out, you're not going to kill them. But about every couple weeks or so, I go through, slap them a little bit because when it's really full, they'll be on lid. Give them a nice little air before I open it up. That first breath of air, they pop a lot. And then, like I said, the calcium bearing clay substrate they're on. I just spritz it, keep it moist. It could probably even be a little more moist than it is currently. And then I'm putting dry rice in there. The rice turns to mold and they eat the mold. And like I said, whenever you want to get some out, just tilt and tap. Super easy. Trying to use a list of these lava rock Figure I got them. Might as well incorporate them, right? All right, so we got that in. I didn't put any big botanicals in the last plate. I just kind of went for littles. And I also didn't show me putting springtails in, but I did do that off camera. So I'll make sure to do that on camera this time. All right. And some little botanicals, some little seed pods. I usually try to pick out some of the little more unwanted stuff that people pick over when they're picking their own. How y'all doing today? Anything that taps. All right, so like I said, I just got some little bits of botanical. Let's get a couple of the decent looking puka pods though, huh? We're coming into October. Should definitely have some nice pumpkins in there, right? Little mini pumpkins. So when I put my little seed pods in here, the little botanicals, just as it is in nature, they fall randomly in nature. So I don't try to. Ooh, what happened to this guy? Why didn't y'all let me know he fell like that? They like pushed him right over at some point. There, that's better. Anywho, so I just kind of let them throw and toss them in there, let them fall where they land. That's how it happened in nature. Try not to be too picky about where they go. So when I go through and I feed all my isopods, I give them isopod diet, which is 12 dry ingredients of stuff that I've blended together they like to eat. I give them the freeze-dried fish, and then I give them some sort of sweet potato, zucchini, or other vegetable similar to that. But if you're doing a bioactive setup and you're just relying on them to be the cleanup crew and that kind of thing, you really shouldn't have to feed them very much. They're going to live off of the setup. They're going to live off the leaf litter in there, off of the poo and shed and whatever bugs that you might be feeding your main inhabitant that it doesn't eat. Kind of, yeah. So it's not self-sustaining. They're going to have to need something. Eventually, what they eat is going to be depleted. The heck? I just flipped my cork up here and left it. Isopods are probably getting out everywhere. What was that last question? Sorry about that. I don't sell fish flake, just freeze-dried fish. I have fish flake in my diet. There is fish flake, freeze-dried mealworms, and freeze-dried shrimp in my diet. Mm-hmm. Sure. All right. Get this gentleman checked out. And we're getting pretty close to being done here, chat. Got our botanicals in, the moss in. We need to get a little hose down. We got to put springtails in. We do have to do that. Oh, you're getting the springtails too, right? Oh, you don't want the masters. You want the regular. Right. Cool. Be right back, chat. Let me just go check them out. Cows to spread. All right, just kind of looking around, make sure none of these other people, there's a few people around my table, nobody needs any help, assistance. How y'all doing? Doing well. All right, let's, think we're gonna go ahead and give it a hose down chat. I think that's where we're at this point. Springtails, we need hydration. I think we're good. What's up, brother? Sure. Yeah. All right. So you want to give everything make it all nice and wet. You want your wood to start going through some of its mold phases. And the only way that's going to happen is if it's getting wet and damp. It's just kind of part of the process you go through when you're doing a setup. Springtails to help keep the mold and mildew and fungus at bay. But because you're adding moisture to a setup, you're going to have mold, mildew, and fungus. That's just kind of what comes with the territory. Make sure that this guy doesn't suffocate out that photosis. So some of the benefits to upgrading to a bioactive setup, beyond the aesthetic appeal, I mean, obviously this is much better to look at than just a box with some paper towels in it or whatever you're rocking at your setup at home. This is going to be something that's going to be way more enjoyable, aesthetically pleasing to look at. But it's also super full of enrichment for your animal. It's going to have plenty of places to discover and hide and be, instead of, again, just being kind of in an empty box. It's going to have other life moving around in there, your cleanup crew, your isopods, your springtails that are also going to make it more, bring the whole setup more to life. You might see your main inhabitant going in there and consuming some of the isopods, which will give it some enrichment, give you some entertainment value. Um, and it's a conversation piece. You know, you have family over, you have friends over. Nobody can go to somebody's house and see a box with plants and wood and cool looking stuff in it without asking what's going on with it. What is that? Tell me about this. All right. I think that's going to be okay for now. Definitely going to need some more hydration. All set, boss? Anything that taps. Yeah, yeah. Let's get this guy checked out. Chat, be right back. All right, here we go. So we just got to put springtails in. And I think I'm just going to kind of pinch a little bit from this last master culture I got. Last master culture magic. All right. And I like to squeegee my walls. For most people, for a lot of people, squeegeeing the walls may not make sense because you've got a gecko or something you're hoping that's going to drink water off the glass. But for me, I definitely want it to be squeegeed. I want it to look as pristine as I can here at the shows because this is something I'm trying to sell. And then on top of that, you know, I just use regular tap water. I'm in Orange City. We have terrible tap water, but it does the job. It's just super hard. Just got to dechlorinated it, and it's fine. But because it's super hard, you get a lot of water spots left on the glass. So I definitely recommend using, I don't recommend using distilled water because distilled water has a lot of nutrients taken out of it. So unless you're like adding nutrients back in, you know, your plants are getting a lot of their nutrients from their water source. But spring water, drinking water, some sort of bottled water in that sense is great if you're not comfortable using your tap water. But yeah, I think that's it, chat. We're going to get the lid back on, get the screen back on, get it wiped down. Use my little squeegee. Obviously, you can't squeegee it all, you know. Some of those areas is going to... What's that? Nothing. I just put this together here at the show. I just finished it up. Yeah, we're doing a whole live and everything. Yeah, I sell the little squeegees. I'm right here. $7. Squeegee, yeah. Take the moisture off, yeah. It's not like a cleaner. All right. So we got our springtails in. Our tank wiped down. Give it one more little wipe too, huh? It's been a dirty boy. Needs his ass wiped. We gotta remember to have some concern about this side that messed up. All right. Spin top on. Get the door on, and then we'll do a little reveal for y'all. Get the little reveal going. Just gotta be careful. This door is the top's broken. So silly. All right, let's get you guys over here. All right. Took a little longer than some of them that I've done that shows do. It's always the vine and then customers that need help. The vine definitely takes me a while to get going. So that was kind of the area back there. I was getting all the rocks stuffed in. Got our little pertussis, a little pocket in the bark there, the wood. A suspended piece of wood, you know, the vine just kind of holding it there. Pretty cool, I feel like. It's a nice aesthetic. Something different. I don't see a lot of people doing. I mean, you know, it's not like it's super hard or anything. I didn't do anything too crazy, but I do feel like it's not something that's common. And we got our forest floor, lava rock and moss and all our little botanicals and stuff. I think it came together pretty well, chat. This is a 12 by 12 by 18 zoom head. Front opening tank. Again, I usually would use a Exoterra brand, but I found out this weekend that Exoterra just stopped making their models, and they're making a new brand. And from what I understand, that the new models don't sound very exciting. They sound like they're not put together very well either, unfortunately. So we'll have to see. I mean, as you all know, I'm definitely I'm super pro Exoterra. I imagine this hat's probably older than some of y'all watching this. This hat's probably been to, I couldn't even tell you at this point, chat. This hat's probably been to 200 shows. Uh, it's over 20 years old now. Probably getting even closer to like, yeah, 25 years old. Maybe like 22 years old. Yeah, it's getting old, chat. Been wearing it a long time. Been to a lot of Daytonas with it. This was my 32nd year straight attending the Daytona show, the National Reptile Breeder Expo. It's a kind of a every year is always another record, you know. But yeah, I think this is gonna be it, chat. We got everything all put together. There's springtails in there. I don't really see any of them running around. I was hoping maybe catch some on camera. Oh, there's one on the rock. Yeah, you see them right there. Yeah, they've already all dispersed. Hey, it's a couple there on the wood. Yeah, there's one. There we go. There's a couple guys there. Cool, cool. Well, that's gonna be it for me, chat. This is Josh here at Pembroke Pines, Florida, Repticon, and appreciate y'all giving me a like. Appreciate y'all giving me subscribe. Tap that screen, hit those buttons. Every little bit of helps help my channel get promoted and get other people to see it, man. You know, I want other people to see my stuff, right? So appreciate y'all, and we'll see you at the next one, right? My next show is going to be Kissimmee in 2 weeks, Kissimmee, Florida, Repticon, and make sure you guys come out, and we'll see you then. Appreciate y'all, chat. Tap that screen. Deuces.